This is a pretty mad story, and it's just got started on social media. Hopefully, you guys don't know about it, so I'm maybe breaking it to some of you people. But if you're kind of clocked in, locked into African Twitter, I'm sure most of you have already seen this. So, this particular gentleman, this young man, this ball of a dude, right? This businessman from Equatorial Guinea is going viral on social media because for some reason, unbeknownst to most people, over 400 of his sex tapes of him, engaging in sexual activities with some consenting adult women got leaked on social media. Yes, you heard that right. This random businessman in Equatorial Guinea. I'm not sure if they're saying he has over 400 sex tapes or if he's on tape fucking over 400 women. Either way, he's putting up fucking numbers. This guy's putting up numbers, and all of his tapes have been leaked online. And for some reason, it seems like all the women involved in the videos that I've seen, because, I do my research and check out the videos, they all seem to be super aware of the camera. They seem to be super game. They seem to be down, consenting. They even seem to be really into him. Like, there's some heavy kissing in a lot of these videos, like passionate shit. Like these women, I think some of them were like legitimately in love with this guy. It wasn't just a smash. So it's all been all over social media, on African Twitter. Everyone's kind of watching it and kind of commenting on it, right? But the really wild thing about this stuff that I've been reading online, the really insane thing, allegedly, some of the women involved are like high profile women in Africa. I'm not too sure if they're high profile women in Equatorial Guinea only, or if it's across the continent of Africa. But either way, these women are linked to like businessmen, politicians, his friends, like big, well-known families. Like, he is smashing everyone. Like, I think there's even a tweet somewhere where it said that some of the women include like, his what do you call it? His children's godmothers and shit. Like, his friends' wives, security guards that work at the fucking place that he's at, smashing their wives, colleagues. Like, he's everything. Everybody that moves gets it. This guy he's putting up absolute numbers. So let's quickly read this tweet, right? Courtesy of African Facts Zones. A businessman in Equatorial Guinea has been involved in a scandal involving 400 sex tapes. The women tapes include wives of many dignitaries. They had unprotected relations. The Attorney General said they'll be tested to see if he has any STDs. Yo, that's the other thing too. He's going bareback on every single one of these joints. Every video that I've seen so far, and I think I've seen about 20 clips. I've been doing my Googles and shit. I've seen about 20 clips, and from the 20 clips that I've seen not one bit of protection in any of those clips. He's smashing everybody's wives, everybody's girlfriends. There's even a clip where he's with some like, quite heavily pregnant lady. Like, he does not play. And the women seem to be really enjoying it. They seem to be really down. Like, it's a mad situation, man. And the heartbreaking side of this story, it's all funny in games, but the heartbreaking side, allegedly one of the women involved has, unalived herself. That's what people are saying online. There's videos of some lady that looked like she could be dead, and African women screaming around her and shit. And it looks like she might be in a morgue or something. So one woman involved unalived herself because of the video. Like, crazy. And the really sad thing as well about it, allegedly, somebody said, I don't know who this person was that said it, but allegedly the person involved is saying this. This is another update that's really crazy, right? Let me get some of these clips out of the way because it's a little bit too X-rated. But allegedly, somebody here said on social media that, to clarify, they suspected this guy of fraud. Allegedly, they found nothing, right? So this Equatorial Guinea guy was being investigated for fraud. They didn't find anything. But what they did find appears to be consensual sex tapes, and now those tapes have been distributed across the internet. Both him and the women are terrible for cheating on their spouses, but this is revenge porn. This is the classic case of revenge porn. So they're looking for corruption, looking for evidence of corruption. They don't find any, but in the process of trying to look for corruption, they find, lacy drives upon lacy drives full of clips of him smashing other people's wives, girlfriends, or whatever else it may be. Now, the really sad thing about this, I don't know why, but I have a feeling, more than likely, the person that leaked this was probably a woman. That's the really scary bit. Like, imagine being a woman, seeing these clips, knowing how, African people are in general when it comes to adultery and shit, and you know how crazy that sort of stuff can damage a woman's reputation in Africa, and whatever else it may be, and the destruction it causes for numerous families. Imagine seeing that and then releasing it to the public. That's super irresponsible, because you're putting so many people's lives at risk. Because, you know, I could believe also there's like a player hating guy could see that, he could get pissed off. He sees his girlfriend, his wife, his fiance on that, or his sister, and he's like, fuck that, and he presses the share button. But there's something in me that tells me this is a woman's doing. This is a woman's doing. Like, okay, cool. If I'm getting burned, everyone's getting burned. Let's just light the whole thing up. You know what I mean? As the great saying says, as the great saying goes, what do you call it? Hell happened with fury like a woman scorned. So I could see that being possible. A woman finding out that, oh shit, okay, I'm not the only one, or this is what my guy was doing, or whatever, blah, blah, boom. And then just spreading it like wildfire, because this is all over African Twitter, because I follow quite a bunch of, I'd say like popular people on like the South African side. They're the ones that I've seen sharing this sort of shit, but it's everywhere. It's literally everywhere on my timeline. I can't escape it, but it's tragic, you know, how it kind of played out. So yeah, another tweet here says 400 sex tapes, including married women, owned in a man's custody. A businessman in Equatorial Guinea has been involved in a scandal. The crazy thing about it too, I think some of the clips that I saw, he's doing the deed in the office too. It looks like he's doing the deed at the workplace. It's in the office itself. Maybe in his own office, but he's like in an office where there's like a screen and it's got loads of cameras. So it looks like whatever facility he's in, government building, he's there looking at the cameras and, you know, from time to time doing the fucking Wakanda forever nipple twist as he's doing the deed. It's fucking crazy, bro. 400, you know. And again, I don't know if it's 400 different women or if it's 400 separate sex tapes. Either way, this guy is putting up fucking numbers. And then, of course, the tragic thing about this story is this. He's also a married man. And it looks like his appetite for smashing is very evident in the amount of kids that he has. Because according to this picture, if this picture's legit and this family is who his family is, with the wife and kids, it looks like he's got like, what, is that 5 kids there? I see? I think 5 kids, all boys, with this lady. Could you imagine how she's feeling right now? She thinks she's got a doting husband, right? Holding her down with this great government job, right? Providing for the family. Little does she know, he is smashing the entire building that he's in, running through everybody. Everyone's getting it, left, right, and center. But again, you know, when man's popping out 5 kids, and they all look like these kids. Again, you know, bless her, she's a beautiful young lady here on the screen. But these kids, they look like they might be all under. No, I think there's a girl that actually. There's 4. Sorry, there's 5 boys. There's 6 kids actually. It looks like there's 5 boys and 1 girl. All these kids look like they're under the age of 13. So this guy's getting it in. He's getting it in at home. So it's not even like he's one of those guys that's not smashing his wife and then smashing other people on the roads. No, he's getting it in at home. Clearly, no pull-out game, and he's getting it out. He's getting it in the streets, in the government building. He is not playing. This uncle is not playing, bro. So allegedly, here are some of the victims. Some of the victims in the list. The list includes the wife of the director of presidential security, the wife of an attorney general, the daughter of the director of general police, the wives of many ministries, including Minister Oboru, his little brother's wife. No, his uncle's pregnant wife. All the sex parties of Jesus Christ. His wife, mother of his 5 children, collapsed and is still recovering. His little brother's wife. Yo, that has to be some sex addict shit. This is like some sex addict shit. Because I remember Russell Brand saying the same thing in one of his books. I remember that was a dark side. I think it was My Bookie Wookie. I think that was his first autobiography, Russell Brand's one, when he was kind of still well liked and he was really, you know, brutally honest about his sex addiction. And one of the things that he said in the book that was really disgusting is he was so bad at one point of his sex addiction, he would be smashing like random old ladies. Like an old lady would be like, you know, say hi to him in a supermarket and they'll, you know, exchange, you know, whatever words and have some banter. And then next minute he's like smashing this old lady behind the bins of a supermarket somewhere. like proper old lady. And he's like, yeah, that's like sex addiction. Like, it went from just someone wanting a picture and saying hi, and then suddenly you're smashing this OAP behind some bins. Like, yuck. So I could imagine when you're this level, you just want that itch to be scratched. You're willing to do anything, and some things are like, obviously, you should never go down the path of trying to fucking smash your little brother's your little brother's wife or ex-wife, regardless of what it is. So if he's at that level, he's definitely on that sort of level. Or maybe he's just, he's just a top tier Champions League cocksmith, innit? You never know. But either way, man, this is risky business. Men will fucking start wars off of the back of women. So this is risky business. Like, you could lose your life over this type of shit. This is the type of shit I think when you're younger, I have to admit, I was probably the same way. You get some sort of thrill sometimes out of like smashing somebody else's person. It can be a little bit thrilling. It can be a little bit exciting, right? Like, you're doing it, right? You're not doing something you're not meant to be doing, type of thing. But I think the older you get, the more you realize that sort of shit is lame. Doesn't feel good. You don't really rate the person when it's done as well. You kind of look down on them like, how could you let me? I mean, you kind of despise them for allowing you to do so. And if that person was to find out, they'd be fully justified to fucking, unalive you if they wanted. They'd have every reason to. And some guys will crash out for a woman easily, happily. So you don't want to put yourself in harm's way for nothing. Just allow it. Do you know what I mean? Go for people who are single and ready to mingle. But smashing people's wives and partners and shit it's just a no-no. It really is a no-no. It kind of just causes way more trouble than the momentary pleasure that you have from that doing the deed. But yeah, man, this Equatorial Guinea businessman he's on the mad one. This is a picture allegedly from The Office, and the arrows show some of the women that he smashed. And according to the arrows I see there, how many women are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Of the 9 women, he smashed, allegedly, according to the arrows, 6 of them. So only 2 resisted his, or 3, innit? 7, yeah, 3. Only 3 of them resisted his advances. He managed, in this picture alone, he's managed to run through 6 of the 9. What an absolute bad man. Really toxic, really bad, but crazy. Oh my God. Could you imagine what his funeral is going to look like? Because I remember that's one of the legendary stories I remember my parents sharing with us when we were younger about one of our uncles who unfortunately passed away, like young. But then when he was really popular, but then when his funeral happened, his mistress with like a family popped up out of the blue that no one knew about. And it turned into some big scuffle at the funeral. Like, imagine, like aunties rolling around, like fighting while the guy's being laid to rest. Because everyone found out, extended family, everybody found out at the funeral that he had this secret family. I think they were in Belgium or something, right? Standard, like, Angolan, Congolese type of vibes. He had some secret family living in Congo. So could you imagine what this guy's funeral is going to be like? Because for sure, there's no way he hasn't birthed. He doesn't have a couple of secret babies out there. There's no way he doesn't. No way. Especially if you know Africa as well. A lot of these women are probably highly religious as well. They don't believe in fucking abortions and shit. So, and maybe they're smashing him because he's got money. Who knows? But for sure, he's got a couple of kids out there too. So could you imagine the amount of kids he must have out there? If he's already, popped out 5 with his wife, could you imagine how many he might have out there in the streets? No wonder the wife collapsed, man. Hopefully she gets well soon and she recovers, but no wonder the wife is in shock. But even that, you'd think you'd know, innit? You probably had a feeling. No way this comes as a surprise that your guy is like doing, you know what I mean? He probably is doing, but then, maybe because he's a high-ranking businessman in Equatorial Guinea, maybe that requires you to be in offices for a long time, long hours of the day. So maybe she didn't think much of it, but you have to have known a little bit. You have to have a bit of an inkling that your guy was like stepping out and doing a madness. But look at that. Look at the arrows. Look at all of the ones that he's allegedly smashed. Jesus, man. This guy was running amok. And yeah, the memes are fucking crazy. The Wakanda Forever nipple twist or the Ronaldo celebration. Honestly, man, the guy's a fucking psycho. Hopefully he does a podcast interview soon, so we can find out exactly Wagwan and get to the bottom of it. But you know, knowing with this list of people that he allegedly has smashed, you know, who knows? He might not even make it to that level. You know, somebody might go crazy and try and take him out because of the shame and shit. Absolutely crazy situation all around with everybody else involved. So thoughts and prayers go out to everybody involved and shit, especially the wife who's recovering from fainting from the shock of what happened. I think just as a kind of cautionary tale for all dudes out there, I don't need to say this, but I think in general, it, you know, it doesn't need to be said, but it maybe should be said in general. Just leave people in relationships alone for the most part. You know, leave people alone, because number one, you know, it's just the destruction it causes is just not worth the momentary pleasure. It really isn't. And like I said earlier, some guys will crash out over a woman. Some guys will crash out over a woman happily and really go, you know, really go to the end point, to make themselves feel better, or to, you know, enact some sort of revenge, and you wouldn't want that on your conscience. So I think most dudes should just allow it, even though it feels good. It can be exciting, it can be thrilling, it feels naughty, dangerous and shit. It's just not worth the hassle. It really isn't. It really flipping isn't. But again, what do I know? Absolutely nada. I don't know jack shit. Maybe I'm being a fucking loser and I should get involved too. Maybe I'm being a loser and I should get involved too. Who knows? Who bloody knows?